friends. Welcome to this week's vlog. I am Jessica, if you're new around here. I'm so glad you're here. It's back to school time, and today was actually my older daughter's first day of school. It feels so early. Like, it really does feel early, but I was checking last year's dates, and I'm like, yeah, like this is when it was. I don't know. I just feel like summer flew by, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but I always get that like emotional feeling. I mean, I just get emotional when I think too much about how quickly childhood goes by. Not only like as a parent, but also just as a human. Like, sometimes I get a little bit maudlin when I think too much about it, because it's just like, gosh, like childhood does go by so quickly. And like, how is my oldest daughter already in the next grade? And like, I remember how I felt last year, very emotional, her going into kindergarten. And this year I went on a run this morning just because I felt like I had so much like pent up energy and kind of nervous energy. And so cried the whole time. Not really, but you know, got teary eyed, listened to some music that I love that's kind of more thoughtful or inspirational. I listen to some Christian music too. And anyway, it was a good thing. Like, I feel so much more evened out, if you will. But yeah, I just feel like back to school season comes earlier and earlier every year. But I am going to kind of share my week of this first week of school with you guys, what it looks like, and then just everything else we're getting into this week too. So I hope you're along for the ride. Well, if you're watching this, you're already along for the ride. You're already strapped in. I've been really enjoying my waver lately. I feel like it can look really nice on second day hair. Yeah, I really like it, especially if I like actually hairspray it, it'll stay pretty well. And I feel like it looks cute, like up in a ponytail the next day. Like, just one of those styles that actually can last more than one day, even if you have more, like my hair gets oily so quickly. So there's the finished look. I need to hairspray it and do something with it, I think. But I just feel like that kind of tool just adds a little bit of volume, even if your hair doesn't naturally have volume, you know? Cheers. It is back to school season, right? And I feel like one of the things that always sucks up a lot of my energy is thinking through lunches and snacks, especially for my kiddo going to school. And so one thing we tend to do at the beginning of the school year is stock up on ready to go items we can throw in a lunchbox quickly or throw in her book bag quickly for a snack. And we love getting a lot of those snacks from Thrive Market. They're having a big back to school sale right now where it's 25% off a ton of their popular back to school brands and snacks. So, and I have an even better offer for you here in just a second, so stay tuned. One reason we love Thrive Market, and we have for years and years been paying customers, is because they end up saving us so much money on these brands we can find at the grocery store, but they're more expensive. And so it doesn't have that premium price tag, even though we're able to find organic items, low sugar items, high protein snacks, things like that. So let me show you what I grabbed. I got the Go-Go Squeeze. I really like the fruit and veggies ones for them, just another way to kind of infuse a little fruit and veggie in their diet. I also picked out the yogurts version as well. I like to keep these. You don't have to keep them in the fridge, but I like to keep them in the fridge. I feel like they taste better. I mean, this is such a staple. The Annie's Cheddar Bunnies, again, these are in a bag ready to go. Easy to throw in a lunchbox. We've not tried these yet. These are the Bob's Snail little fruit rolls. I love that there are 2 ingredients, apple and blueberry. Look at that. Amazing. Speaking of very low ingredients, they love these Harvest Snaps. These are like freeze-dried apples. The only ingredient is apples. Awesome. Also got them the Llama Naturals prebiotic and probiotic. We have gone through a couple of these jars. I always buy them on Thrive Market. Their tummies are very happy. So if you have kids, like one of mine, definitely their tummy is not always the happiest. This has been a game changer, and we've tried a lot of other probiotic type things, and these have been great. I also grabbed these both for the kids and for us, a quick little bagged snack. These are the Lesser Evil popcorn bags. Love these. You know, it's a low calorie snack option that if I'm hopping in the car and I'm a little snacky, just grab one of these. I also got my absolute favorite granola for earlier mornings. We'll have this with yogurt. This Purely Elizabeth, the original one. I could eat this with a spoon and milk. Like, it is so, not even with milk. I'll just eat it. It is so good. Again, with back to school, like I said, earlier mornings for us as well. I grabbed this cold brew concentrate from Califia Farms. I always said Califia. It tells you right there, Califia. I'm like, oh, okay, well, good to know. Anyway, this is a concentrate. So you just pour this over ice, half this, half water, mix it up, and you've got some really good tasting cold brew. Well, I should say, I haven't tried this brand, but I've tried a couple other brands of cold brew concentrate. It's always really good. I also grabbed for a recipe next week, the organic white rice, just like a quick 90-second rice. I feel like Thrive Market is this like little known secret in some of my friends' lives where they'll kind of talk about it and be like, oh, I get all this from Thrive Market. Like it's a secret because they're able to save so much money versus going to really expensive grocery stores. And I just think that's so funny because it really is such an amazing, amazing thing. And that's why I have loved using Thrive Market on my own, even when they are not working with me. I really, really do love how much money we save on things we're going to be buying anyway. Plus it's convenient because it's just delivered to your door when you need it. So they're having their first ever back to school sale. Like I mentioned, 25% off of a bunch of their back to school brands and staple items. So if you want to save some money, you can actually save a little more on top of that, because if you go to thrivemarket.com/jessicabraun, you can get 30% off your first order and a free gift worth up to $60. So all of that can stack on top of each other, get you a bunch of savings this season. Thank you so much to Thrive Market for sponsoring this part of the video. I'm gonna water my dead plant. I just think I'm not meant to have, I don't know. Anyway, all right, it's watered. We'll see. Yeah, I will say, you know what? I've revived it once. I might be able to revive it again. So I wanted to talk to you guys about a book I just finished. I wanted to throw on a lip product because I love this stuff. It's from L'Oreal. Why does L'Oreal never put what a lip product is called on their like lip products? It makes me crazy. It'll put the color, which is nice, but I never know. And then I have to do like a long internet search to figure out what in the world it's called. Anyway, I'm probably the only person that would complain about that, but so be it. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the book I just finished, which is The Let Them Theory. First of all, wow, did not know how much drama surrounded this book until recently. There's a lot of drama about like, the person that wrote it is Mel Robbins, who's a pretty popular self-help book writer, podcaster, speaker, whatever, extraordinaire. But there's a lot of like things swirling around about like, was it even her idea originally? It was someone else's. Did she not give her credit and all this stuff? I don't know. But I just want to talk about the ideas in it, because one thing that kind of stood out to me, I think a lot of us kind of deal with, and like I've been trying to, as I've just grown up and gone through life, get over. And this kind of put to words a lot of what I've been working on. So I wanted to share it with you and see if it resonates with you too. So the idea of the let them theory is basically, I Googled it, all right, so that I can explain this better. And so the core idea is releasing control. So the theory encourages letting go of the need to manage other people's emotions. Okay. And the idea is it's not just let them think whatever they want or, whatever, but it's also after that, there's the half of it that's let me do X, Y, and Z. So I'm not explaining this well. You had to read the whole book to really understand. But basically you have way more control than you think, but you can only control what you can actually control. You can't control someone else's thoughts, feelings, emotions about your own life decisions, what you believe, whatever. And I've been thinking about that a lot, because I think if you're someone that's a people pleaser by nature, this message is definitely for you, because it really reminds you that you really can't control what people think. And no matter how much you try to control a situation with how you say something or whatever, it doesn't really matter, because people are going to think what they're going to think. And reminding yourself that all you can control is yourself, I think can be really, really empowering. And so I've been thinking about that a lot. And even with like what I share in my videos and stuff, I think the piece for me that has felt like I'm missing here is being 100% completely authentic and sharing parts of my day that maybe I wouldn't otherwise share. And I don't know exactly yet what that looks like as we go through the next year, but that's something that's kind of on my mind if I want to share more with you guys about other things in my life. And I think there's a lot of things I don't share for fear of what someone out there might think, or a judgment they might pass on me, or a comment they might write. But what I'm trying to remind myself of is, you know, if the vast majority of you guys understand me and that, I don't know, I gotta just let go of trying to control what every single person that would ever watch a minute of a video of mine would think. And that is not just here with my job on YouTube, but also just in life. Like, it's something I think a lot of us deal with. It's people pleasing at its core. At its core, it is people pleasing. And I'm really trying to shed myself of that. Anyway, so that is what I want to talk about. I think I have been wanting my vlogs to feel more kind of like, if you've ever watched any of our Vlogmas videos, okay? Those are, we were basically putting out a vlog every single day. And so those tend to be very unplanned. Not that my vlogs are planned. I mean, you can't really, but you know what I mean? I might, when I'm starting a weekly vlog, think, oh, well, you know what? I know in this video, I want to make sure I talk about this or share this because it's something, you know, like a new skincare product I'm using, I really like, I want to share. And it's not to say that my vlogs won't continue to have that kind of stuff, but I also want to additionally include things that maybe I wouldn't otherwise. Does that make any sense? Like I said, I'm not even sure what that's going to look like moving forward, but I like having that in my mind because I want my vlogs here to feel more like our Vlogmas videos have, where it's a little more cozy. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about my vlogs, so it's hard to know. But anyway, all right. That's enough like meta talk about what I do here. So today is the second day of Genevieve's school, and I hope it's going well. She really seemed to like her teacher. She said her teacher was really nice, and I was so glad to hear that. And it's always an emotional time. Like I told you guys, it really is weirdly emotional. I think it's because it's a marker in time of time passing by. And so I think it's like you're almost forced to pause and think about how time is passing by. And then I see photos from like last year, her first day of school. And then I'll see people posting, like on Facebook of like their kid on their first day of kindergarten and their kid on their first day of high school. I'm like, like I cannot handle that. So I'm just an emotional wreck right now. That is for sure. I did a yoga workout this morning and it felt like, I don't know, like it was pretty cathartic. It was an emotional release kind of yoga for me. I promise I'm okay. It's just an emotional period of my life, that's for sure. Speaking of that, I also wanted to touch on, I literally, as I'm filming this, made a video live that I didn't think I actually would ever make live. I sat on it for a few weeks and thought about it. And it was the life update where I shared about us having a miscarriage. And the response from you guys has been, I've already cried about it a couple times today, so I don't want to cry here. The response has been amazing. And I have never felt so connected to you guys in knowing that so many of us have gone through similar things. And it really does help to not feel so alone in some things. So I was genuinely praying as I hit the upload, like make that video live button, if you will, that the right people see it and that there's a reason for me sharing my story. And I really feel like in reading your comments, there definitely has been. So I love you guys. That's all. It's been such a journey. I am currently trying to hang up a big pile of clean clothes, shirts. We just had dinner and I had planned to make this salmon, like teriyaki salmon bowl. And we have the ingredients. I still plan to make it some night. But by the time we got home and all four of us were here and we were all just tired. So Ted and I looked at each other. I was like, I don't really feel like cooking that tonight. He was like, I don't either. So we were like, let's do a quick veggie and some frozen quiche. That is definitely like our go-to quick low fuss meal. Usually we'll do the quiche and salad, but this time we had some carrots to use up. So we roasted those. I mean, it was delicious. Anyway, so it was a nice quick dinner. We had a dance party with the kids where we each picked a song. And my song originally was We Don't Talk About Bruno, you know. But then I swerved after that and I got a bonus song and I did In the Mood. And well, the version we listened to was the Glenn Miller Band. Remember that? Like old oldie. I mean, it's from way before any of our time. Well, most of our time. But it's such a fun dancing song, especially with kids. And it unlocked a memory of when I was a kid. We used to dance to that song like with my parents. I think they had like a record or something and that was on it. And it's such a fun dancing song. So that's how we ended on a good note. Now they are in the bath playing and I'm gonna get this done really quickly, but I just saw a preview for the new show called The Paper and I don't know how I feel about it. So it's in the same world, it said, as The Office, and it's from the same crew as The Office is what they said. And at the very end of the preview, Oscar from The Office is in it and he sees the documentary crew and he's like, no. And the idea of that is so funny. So I'm assuming it's meant to be the same Oscar. Anyway, so the idea of that, amazing. Yes. So I'm going to watch it, I'll tell you that. But I'll be very curious if it's any good, how it's received and all that. I don't think it's been released yet. I've just been seeing the preview floated around. But yeah, have you seen the preview yet? If you haven't, you got to check it out. I can link the preview I saw below. Anywho, so I'm going to get this done and then we are going to turn in early. Honestly, I told Tyler, I'm like, I'm kind of feeling body achy. And I'm like, I think they all had some kind of a cold on the trip and I never caught it. And I'm like, well, there's no way I'm getting out of this scot-free. So I'm like, I think I'm finally getting, I don't know if it's what they had, but maybe getting something. So I feel like a good night's sleep can knock out a lot. Like, man, sleep. I love it. I love sleep. Never get enough. Okay, first of all, there's nothing better than early mornings outside in the summer. Do you hear that? It's just very peaceful out here. It's about time to take the girls out to the bus stop, but I wanted to pop out and chat for a second because I realized something that I do that I wonder if any of you guys can relate to or that you do as well to make me feel a little less alone. I have realized any of my own neuroses, I don't even know if that'd be the right term for it, I try to like hyper fix, like ultra fix for my own kids because I don't want them to be the way I am. Well, I do maybe in some, but you know what I mean. And so one really dumb, very, very specific example I will give you is that I used to get really nervous in school to do something I've never done before. That probably is, everyone's like, yeah, of course. But let me be even more specific. In the lunchroom, like if there was a way to get like an extra something or like if I didn't know exactly how to do something when it comes to like going in a lunchroom line or whatever, I just would never do it. I'd be too scared. Nowadays I would, but I still feel that in myself. And so at the beginning of the school year last year when Genevieve was starting kindergarten, and I've been doing it this year too, because it's day 2 of school now, she wanted to bring her lunch on the first day of school. So we made her lunch together actually this time. And she wanted a like bologna and cheese sandwich, classic. Anyway, but then the second day I was like, okay, now today, so that you know how it works in your new classroom, let's do a school lunch, because they have to like pick which lunch they want in the morning in their classroom and every teacher does it differently. And so, and she understood, she was like, okay, that makes sense to me. That way I'll know how it works. Because I feel like if you're a month into the school year and then you're trying to do it, then I feel awkward. Like, teacher, I've never done, I know we're a month into the school year. So another example, I was just am I explaining this clearly? So another example is car pickup. So last year she rode the bus. So we would pick her up every once in a while from school, like early if she had a dentist appointment, whatever. But we never did car pickup or drop off. And that's one of my things where it's like, well, I don't know exactly what the flow is and, you know, how does it work? So I told her, I'm like, okay, taking my own advice, this first week, we're going to do car pickup and drop off so that we both know how this works. Because if it's a month or two into the school year, I don't want to look like an idiot. Okay, I'll sign off. So I'm currently reheating my coffee in the microwave. There it is. And we harvested some things from our garden when we got back after being gone for a while. I don't know that these are any good to eat. I think
was this the zucchini and this was the cucumber? Like nothing. We did not tend to our garden at all this year. It was just not our summer for doing that. And so honestly, Tyler's like, well, they kind of look like fall decorations. I'm like, they really do. So there you go.
Okay, so I very rarely try like doing my makeup and then leaving my eyes alone. Like no eyeshadow, no liner, no mascara. But I'm kind of playing with it. I have like a beige eyeshadow on, but basically trying to blank that out. And then I did no eyeliner and just did very, very light mascara. I don't hate the way it looks. Like, I feel like I'm still trapped in that 2015 makeup mindset where if I take the time to do my makeup, I have to do every single step. And I'm like, it's a crime to skip a step. But so many people nowadays I will see and I'm like, gosh, their makeup looks so pretty. And then I realize they are not wearing any eyeshadow, any liner, any mascara. They just have like a little face makeup on and they look beautiful. So anyway, I'm toying with it. These are my baby steps. Okay, good morning to me and the sound of PJ Masks on Disney Plus. The girls are eating some breakfast. It is another school day for Miss Genevieve. So making her lunchbox she picked out is this. It's pretty cute. We got it on Land's End. I don't know that I've ever ordered anything from Land's End. As we started looking at book bags, like literally Googling, Land's End ones came up and she liked a few of them. So anyway, that's where we ended up getting her book bag and her little lunchbox. And at the time I ordered it, obviously a few weeks ago now, there was some kind of crazy deal and everything was like not very expensive at all. And I always thought of Land's End as one of those brands that was kind of pricey. I mean, I feel like it is, but anyway, with the sale, it was a great deal. Anyway, so I'm making her lunch. I asked her what she wanted. She picked out things I could have predicted: cheddar bunnies, the yogurt things, and then I need to make like her main thing, whether it's a sandwich or a lot of times I'll do like hummus, and then like they'll sell the individual cups. We don't have any though. So I have like a thing of hummus, but I don't know that I have a small enough container. I need to get some, like a refillable container that I could just put hummus in. That'd be way easier. Wouldn't be easier, but it'd be more cost effective for sure. Anyway, and then like the little, here, I'll show you. These are the little naan things. So I'll give some of these with some hummus, and that kind of works really well as a different main course that, you know what I mean, different than a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatever. So another option for like a main, one of Genevieve's favorites is, I don't want to like, a homemade Lunchable. And then I've got some fruit in here. And then this little one comes with like a little ice pack tray that we keep in the freezer, and then it just like snaps in there. We used this all last year and this year. We just have the one. And it works great. We just make sure we clean it each time. And she does, like I said earlier, she does get school lunches. We kind of just do like half and half. So that is ready to go. Fits in her lunchbox perfectly. Awesome. And then I'll just stick these on top. She's good to go. The other day on her first day of school, we gave her like a special sweet treat because we usually don't really pack anything. She gets plenty of sugar and the other stuff, you know. But on her first day of school, we were like, oh, okay, we'll pack something special and sweet. So we have a box of Nutty Bars. Neither of us, we think we maybe bought it for a trip and then we never opened it. So we're like, oh my gosh, delicious. Anyway, so we put one of those, a pack of Nutty Bars in there. She was like, I didn't really like it. And we're both like, I'm sorry, what? I don't think I've met anyone that likes chocolate and peanut butter, of course, that doesn't like a Nutty Bar. I was like, oh my gosh, the self-control that would take me to eat 2 bites of a Nutty Bar and not the rest is insane. I am going to do a walk. I've been doing these walks like on the treadmill. It's this girl named, I don't know if it's Kirsten Ferguson, and she does these intention setting walks on the Peloton app, and they are so good. They're like those like soul reaching walks where like the things she talks about and the things she says, you feel like she's talking directly to you. And I feel like this person has a special talent for that. And anyway, I absolutely love it, but I don't know that there's like a ton of them on this app. So I'm like, man, what do I do when I run out? Do I just start them over? I don't know, maybe. Anyway, so that is my plan, doing that, because I am not really, I'm never in the mood. Well, that's not totally true, but as I've said before, the motivation doesn't just come upon you most of the time. Most of the time you just have to do it. And I have done 5 days this week, Monday through Friday, getting back into that routine. And that was the one thing with the back to school season I really was excited about, getting back to some semblance of routine, especially when it comes to our workout journey. Sorry, I just had some of a protein shake and it was super, it just, you know, how it like dries your mouth out. It's like that chalky. Okay. I am throwing on some makeup. I did end up getting a new shade of that sunscreen. I'll show you here in just a sec. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I ran downstairs to fill my coffee up and ran back up, and here we are. I'm going to the nail salon to get my nails redone. And I've realized, I'm like, I would just get the same color over and over again. Like, I love this kind of like off-white, kind of pinky white look. I don't know the name. It's a dip powder. You know what I mean? And there's so many, like, I genuinely have no idea. Anyway, I say all that to say, I'm like, what do I want? Like, what color would I like to do? And I'm like, I kind of just want to do white again. I mean, there are no rules. I can do whatever I want when it comes up. But yeah, so we'll see. I was also kind of thinking like a mint green. Every time I think of like a light mint green, I think of early YouTube days. And I feel, I was going to say, I don't know why. I know why. It's because it was such a popular, like there was an Essie color. I might even still have it. Hold on. I don't know if I've ever really shown you guys. Like, this is where I keep my nail polishes, just like in a little Allie Glines bag. And they fit perfectly. Yeah, this is it. Mint candy apple. Oh my gosh. Couldn't tell you the last time I used this. Another popular one at the time was Bikini Sotini. Do you guys remember? I mean, this is like a trip down memory lane right here. I think they still make these colors. I mean, these are old, but they're not like 12 years old. They're a little more recent than that. But still, this is kind of the color I'm thinking. Wouldn't that be pretty? This is a color I love. Like, this probably is my actual favorite color, like periwinkle. I just hit my elbow really hard. Anyway, so thinking about this kind of a color, I think that'd just be kind of fun for late summer. I don't know. We'll see what I end up with. I say all that and then I'll end up getting like bright pink or something. But this is the sunscreen. So I brought the medium shade with me and on the trip, and it was just a little bit too dark most of the time. And so I wanted to get a color that's good for me with my regular skin tone, like my normal yearly. So it goes on white and then it turns into a color. But the thing that is so magic about this is that the color still kind of blends in, so it doesn't need to be an exact match. I just wanted one a little closer than the other one was to my skin tone, but it makes your skin look so pretty. So I'm like, I don't even feel like I need to put on other makeup with this. You know what I mean? It's so cool. So I get the hype behind this, and it's pricey. I have been buying mine on Amazon. I say have been because now this is the second one. And both times it was on sale. So I feel like you could maybe wait for a sale. I don't know, but I'm telling you, this is gorgeous and it looks amazing on its own, but then it works really well underneath makeup too. So it's just great. It's so great, you guys. And it's not super dewy, but it's not super matte. It's not super thick. It's not super glowy. Like, it really can do it all. And I love that. Oh my gosh. Like, wow. Looks like I have full-blown makeup on. That is awesome. So I think I'm just going to do a little bit of concealer and stuff and call it a day. But yeah, big fan of this. This one, by the way, I got is in light. I think there's another shade lighter than this too. So as I've continued to try the no eye makeup look, this time, instead of doing any mascara, I just took a little bit, it wasn't this palette, it was the NYX Ultimate Neutrals. I just got like a dark eyeshadow and a thin like eyeliner brush, and just to kind of darken that area, because my lashes, even though I naturally have darker hair, my lashes are not like dark lashes. They're not blonde, I don't think, but you know how they're, I mean, some people just have those absolutely gorgeous, you know, if you don't have it, you know what I'm talking about. And if you have it, you are so lucky. Those beautiful black lashes that even when you're wearing nothing on your eyes, you can like see your lashes. I don't know. So I ended up taking this darker color and just really lightly right on the like lash line, just to kind of darken it, to make it appear as though I have a little bit more going on. So then from a distance, I feel like my eyes look a little bit more awake, but it still is kind of that more natural, like not really wearing anything on the eyes look. So that's what we're going with today. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this. I feel like
just something different, switching up my routine that I've done for a million years, you know, what feels like a million years anyway. Well, I went exactly where I knew would end up happening. I ended up getting a super bright, fun color, which this is just making me so happy. I just figured, honestly, I feel like obviously summer's almost over. I want to do a super summery color because I feel like I really haven't yet. So before I switch over to like muted fall here in a month or two. But the other thing was they really didn't have a minty color. They have so many color options, but they really didn't have like a minty color like what I showed you guys. So anyway, I'm happy about it. Now to get some work done.
Are you so handsome?
So I popped on my Instagram and asked you guys if you had any questions. I figured we'd round this little vlog out with a mini Q&A sesh. So you guys asked some really good questions. How's your dog? Pinocchio, he's right here. He's good. He is 10 now, my beagly boy. Some of you guys have been around since he was a puppy, like 9 years ago or 9.5, whenever. You're such a good boy, huh? Are you and Tyler as productive as you look in Vlogmas? I'm in awe. Again, you are seeing a highlight reel in any vlog, and that includes Vlogmas, so that's just funny. If you don't, I think I've mentioned Vlogmas. Have I mentioned it twice in this vlog now? It's where we vlog every day in December, hence the name Vlogmas. Yeah. We do those on my husband Tyler's channel, though, not here. We used to do them here years ago, but yeah. Okay, I have gotten this question. This may be the one question I haven't officially answered in a video, but I have been asked a ton. Where is my wedding ring? I have not had it for months. I don't even know when it was. Maybe 6 months ago. I genuinely don't know. Within the past year, one of these small little diamonds fell out. No idea where it is. It was like I'd put my hand in my purse and like lifted it out, and I was like, there is a missing, and it wasn't in that purse. Anyway, the jeweler that we got it through originally is like amazing. It's like lifetime guarantee, no questions asked, whatever. So we don't have to pay to replace the stone. But basically they were saying the setting or whatever you call it that it was in was kind of messed up, which is why it fell out. But what's crazy is we had just had it cleaned and like checked like 2 months prior to that. So maybe, who knows? Either way, it was bad enough that they were like, we need to send this away to like actually get it refitted, try to find a diamond that like looks similar to your original one. And I'm like, it was so small. I'm like, I don't know what that, I wouldn't know. Like, I would not know. Anyway, they said it would probably be a while, and it has been forever. So I will say we just sent it off like maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago. I was wearing it off and on even with the missing diamond for months, but it was sharp, so I wouldn't wear it all the time. So you may have seen me. So anyway, no marriage drama. It's truly just that the wedding ring is now off at the jeweler's, and I hope I someday see it again. I missed it, especially on the longer trip. I'm like, I missed having it. What is your weekly routine like? I.e. things to tick off once or certain number of times per week. I feel like no 2 weeks are exactly the same, and I think that's the nature of especially having young kids, but also having, I mean, my job is obviously kind of weird, and it's just flexible, and so I'm working at different times every week, but certain days do kind of repeat. My one thing that we have been trying to do, as I've talked about, is working out in some capacity 5 days a week. And that's usually in the morning. And that has been really nice. So those things are like in my head. I'm trying to check that off. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that because, you know, there's the obvious like worky YouTube-y things. Like I always upload 2 videos a week. So checking those off the list, making sure they're filmed, making sure, you know, doing the thumbnail, like all of that. But I don't know if that's really what you're asking. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question any better than that. Usually the kids have, usually the kids have swimming lessons once a week. We try to just spend time with them, like especially now that she's back in school. We try to go to the pool when it's warm out at least once a week, groceries once a week, meal planning once a week. How do you recognize that God is calling you to do something, even if it's small? Oh, I wish I had like an awesome answer to that. There have been a few things in my life recently I've been praying for clarity about, and sometimes I think he answers us in our own inner dialogue, like thoughts that come to your mind and won't leave your mind. I think sometimes can be his way of talking to us. And the reality is, like, I'm never gonna know for sure. None of us this side of heaven are ever gonna know for sure whether he's trying to tell us something or nudge us a certain way, but I just think there's something in you that when you're kind of more receptive to it, you start to realize like, you know what? I've been praying for an answer to this or whatever. And I think this thought that will not leave my mind, perhaps that's it. Or just something, an opportunity falling in your lap and you being like, oh my gosh, like maybe this is something he's nudging me towards. But yeah, it's so hard to answer. And I wish I did always recognize when God was calling me to do something. But I do feel like being open to that idea is part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I probably not everyone watching would agree with that. But anyway, one of you guys told me in a comment that the Australian way of talking about tantrums, so I was talking about like toddler tantrums, the Australian way of talking about that is saying she or he is chucking a wobbly. I love it. That is the most perfect. I gotta send that to Tyler. He is going to love that. She's chucking a wobbly. I love it. I want to hear them say it in Bluey. They probably have. That is incredible. Fave go-to fast food order. Ooh, if I'm being very naughty. I've talked about my love for chalupas at Taco Bell. I could just eat the chalupa like shell. Oh my gosh. Big love for that. But if I'm going like burger and fries, I mean, listen, a Whopper at Burger King, but with McDonald's fries. You know what I mean? Like the taste of Burger King's burgers is so good. It's got that actual like charbroiled whatever. And I'm sure it's all nonsense, but it tastes really good. I love a Whopper, but we never, ever go to Burger King. And that's not to say we never, ever go to fast food. I just mean if we're doing fast food, we're usually doing like McDonald's and, you know, but yeah, a Burger King Whopper, but with McDonald's fries and a crispy Coke or crispy Sprite. What an interesting question. Do you feel like the more makeup you use, the closer you are to creating a curated collection? Yes and no. Yes, in that I could probably never try makeup again and just have certain makeup that I've discovered that I love and never branch out and feel incredibly content. Curated, I know it's high quality, everything stays in place, you know, but I love trying new makeup. And so if you're new around here, like my channel, I've been doing this for over 12 years and originally it was only makeup. Now you still see makeup sprinkled throughout the month in my uploads, or at least beauty. Because it is a love and a passion of mine. I still love trying out all the things. So yes, I could truly just have a curated little collection. So I decluttered most of my collection like within the past year, maybe. And so I do feel like it's actually already pretty curated. But again, I'm always trying new stuff. It's the nature of it. So we're going to end there. I hope that you enjoyed. So I wanted to thank today's video sponsor again, which was Thrive Market. If you want to check it out for yourself, get some back to school snacks. Again, their month-long back to school sale where you can get 25% off of tons of their top back to school brands. And you can stack that on top of 30% off your first order and a free gift worth up to $60. All you have to do is go to thrivemarket.com/jessicabraun to get started. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. I truly do love you guys. I feel like we're in the next chapter of our lives together. I really do feel like I'm entering a different season of my life and I don't yet know what that looks like, but I feel it in my videos as well. And so I hope you're along for the ride. Thanks for subscribing, watching all the way to the end. I love ya, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.